Having competed against Luka so often, what do you enjoy about the game?
I mean, we beat him, and I can make fun of him.
Makes Luka special? I know you recently said he was your favorite player.
His size,
It's gigantic.
I mean, he's gigantic. He's 6'8" point guard. He's 225 pounds. He has the ball on the string, and more importantly, his vision. That's why I love his vision. He can control a game. He doesn't even have to shoot. He'll walk the ball up the court 10 straight times.
Luka's like the guy, obviously, that's right on the precipice of accomplishing all those accolades and just what he's about as a player. And that threshold of like, how do you just crack through? I hope it's not now, but it's like when you play against him, like you can feel it.
Young bull.
Young bull. Like
does that
like a pissing contest.
Early on for sure.
Yeah.
Early on for sure. But I think we both tried to make it work, you know? It's just, I think communication, like maturity, communication on both of our parts should have been better.
What about Luka?
Same thing, fouling-wise, don't even dare. He's too smart. He plays slow, his gears, like he got really good gears of like go slow to fast and back to slow to fast again.
Not next up, Luka is now. Like Luka is for real now. He's past that next up after his first season. Like you knew Luka's gonna be that guy, and he's that guy now. With his size, his scoring ability, his playmaking, his IQ, his vision, we're talking about being the biggest international player now. That's surpassing GOATs. You know what I mean? That's surpassing Dirk. That's surpassing Tony Parker. That's surpassing Hakeem. He's got a chance to be the biggest international guy, surpassing Giannis in a way. I mean, he's got a chance to be, one of the best to ever do it.
Since stepping into the NBA, Luka's scoring prowess has made him a challenge for every opponent he's faced. Whether your favorite NBA player crossed paths with the Mavs between 2018 and now, chances are they've had an encounter with the phenom. Some engage in fierce competition, exchanging words with the Mavs star. Others acknowledge his greatness on the court. How did your favorite player do against him? Discover unfiltered opinions from NBA stars, offering insights into what they truly think about Luka Doncic. Off the court, Denver Nuggets' Nikola Jokic and Dallas Mavericks' Luka Doncic share a great friendship, but on the court, their battles are intense. Following the Nuggets' victory against the Mavericks in a Friday night in-season tournament game, Jokic shared what he appreciates most about Doncic's game, adding a touch of humor by saying that I can beat him and make fun of him. Nikola is known for his amazing court vision and scoring abilities, but also his lack of athleticism, skills that he and Luka both have, or lack thereof. Off the court, we are doing a pretty good job, but we are going to see on the court. I don't know how we're going to do it because he is not athletic. I'm not athletic, so I don't know how we are going to match. Nikola said this about teaming up with Luka for the 2022 All-Star Game. Luka hasn't kept much of a secret about wanting to team up with the Joker and says that he knows he does as well. One of the league's best talents coming from the Balkan. One of the biggest memes right now is definitely Luka Doncic laughing in Devin's face while humiliating him in Game 7 of the 2022 Western Conference semifinals. In Game 5 of that series, Devin talked some massive trash to Luka. When asked about Luka and how the Suns plan on guarding him, Devin and Chris Paul laughed it off as if they were asked about a basic player. It was clear that Devin lacked respect for Luka and his game. Luka wasn't really touched by this, as he just said that it's easy to act tough when you are up. In the last 2 games of the series, Luka did some of the biggest damage in recent playoff history, beating the Suns in humiliating fashion, knocking them out of the playoffs. After Game 7, Devin apologized to Luka for the trash talking he did and wished him good luck for the remainder of the playoffs. One thing's for sure, it is better to give props to Luka. In an intense game between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum had a huge block on Luka. Tatum appeared to have some words for Doncic after the block, and the Boston player revealed the friendly banter between the duo after the win. "We joked about it," Tatum said. "I told him I had to block it because I didn't want him to dunk on me. He looked at me and was like, 'You thought I was going to dunk it?' I was like, 'You never know. You're tall enough where you can play above the rim a little bit.'" Bam Adebayo is a modern-day big who does a lot of good stuff to impact the game. He can dribble, pass, shoot from mid-range, and defend. He has gotten the best of Luka a couple of times, but usually gets the shorter end of the stick. After a thriller win in overtime against the Mavs, where Bam had himself a triple-double night with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists, and Luka unfortunately got injured early in the game. After just 2 short minutes, Bam added a few comments about Luka while he wished him a speedy recovery. He's special. He's one of those guys who don't let you speed them up. He is playing in his own pace. He is really unique. He is not really fast, he just does a lot of special things, and he is a big part of Dallas's recent success. One of the league's most likable player, and Luka's favorite, is Serbian giant Boban Marjanovic. Him and Luka played together for the Mavs for 3 seasons, in which the two developed really good chemistry. After a clash between the Mavs and the Rockets in November 2022, a reporter asked Boban if he thought Luka had gotten even better. Luka's always great, always the best. He is doing things that nobody else can do. What he is doing, I don't know another person that can do that. I don't say this because he is my friend. He is a really good friend to me, but, you know, it's true. I support him with all my heart. That's my guy right there. Boban is truly a special guy. During a recent interview with former NBA player J.J. Redick, Boston Celtics forward Kristaps Porzingis opened up about a competitive phase he and his former Mavericks teammate Luka Doncic experienced during Porzingis' tenure from 2019 to 2022. Redick, on his podcast, brought up this dynamic, questioning whether a pissing contest existed between the two stars when Porzingis joined Dallas in Doncic's second year. Early on for sure, Porzingis said, later admitting that the low-simmering tension between the two was part of the overall reason it didn't work for Porzingis in Dallas. But I think we both tried to make it work. It's just, I think communication and maturity on both our parts should have been better. Porzingis said during a post-game interview in April 2022 that rumors that he and Doncic did not get along was the biggest misconception people had about the relationship between the two stars at the time. There's no issue between us, Porzingis said then. We were super cool, we will always hang out, and I would say that's the biggest misconception. Lillard is one of the realest players there is. He can both talk highly or trash talk you, depending on what you ask for. He is a fan of Luka and has given him credit for his greatness and capability on a couple of occasions. In a loss against the Mavs in November 2022, Lillard said, "He is a tough cover. He's crafty, getting a lot of foul calls. He's going to the post, and you have got a lot of action to keep him moving, and the guys around him spreading out. He is always playing for matchups, and he's definitely a tough cover." Following his game-winning three-pointer against the Grizzlies in April 2021, Luka's brilliance was recognized by none other than the illustrious LeBron James. In awe of Luka's prowess, LeBron remarked, "The shot Luka made was nothing short of remarkable. That's the mark of a player who thrives under pressure, turning a challenging situation into an opportunity to shine." As we witness these interactions, it's unmistakably clear that Luka Doncic's impact stretches beyond the score sheet. His performance serves as a catalyst for the continuous evolution of the game, with legends like LeBron James not only acknowledging his greatness, but also finding inspiration in it. The future of the league is undeniably bright, upheld by these pillars of excellence. Bogdan Bogdanovic is a product of the famous partisan basketball system. He had a similar path to the NBA to Luka's. He dominated the EuroLeague for 7 seasons, and in the meantime, he was drafted 27th overall by the Sacramento Kings in the 2014 NBA draft, joining them in 2017. He played in Europe a little longer than Luka, but he also left as a champion, winning it all with Fenerbahce, together with legendary Serbian coach Obradovic. Luka and Bogdan have had a rivalry of their own in the FIBA world, as both of them have been the go-to guys in their national teams in the past years. When asked about Luka, Bogdanovic shared a few quick thoughts with the reporters. "I like the way he plays. As you can see, European basketball is on a way different level right now. I think the European players are adjusting quickly and faster than players before. Now, you're able to see those things, see the rules, and see everything. If you're smart, you just catch up quickly, and he is definitely smart." Nikola Vucevic, a seasoned Montenegrin center in his decade-long NBA career, hails from a family deeply rooted in basketball. His father, Boro Vucevic, chose to return to their hometown of Bar, prioritizing the Balkan youth basketball system over Belgium, believing it offered better prospects for Nikola's basketball development. Thus, Vucevic emerged as another talent nurtured by the basketball system prevalent in the Balkans and ex-Yugoslavia. He holds Luka in high regard. Sometimes, for young guys, it takes longer to adjust to the different style of play. But Luka's abilities were showcased in his quick adjustment from European to NBA basketball. From day one, he has been showing off and has been consistent doing so. I don't think there are limits for him. The sky is the limit for him. Miami Heat's Nikola Jokic is one of the rising talents in the league right now. Jokic, a Serbian international, is another product of the famous Yugoslavia system. In his draft day interview, he gave credit to Luka as one of the players he shaped his game after. I watch a little bit of everyone, whether it is Luka in the pick and roll, Nikola Jokic in the low post, or Jimmy Butler's defense. Something from everyone. Ivica Zubac has been improving from season to season. Zubac is one of the friendliest guys in the NBA and is best known for his sportsmanship and strive for fair play. He is good friends with Luka and even was part of the famous Balkan dinner alongside other Balkan players. When asked about his and the Clippers' strategy against Luka, Zubac said, "We have got to make it as hard as possible for him. He can score at every level, and we have got to pick the shots we want to live with. There aren't many of those shots, so we try our best to get the ball out of his hands. It's always a tough mission to play against him." One of the breakout players of the 2021-22 season who continues his quest is Cavs guard Darius Garland. A great shooter from long range, who's also able to score of the dribble and be an impressive playmaker, Darius has brought his game to a level reminiscing of young Lillard. After a tough loss against the Mavs where Garland kind of struggled, finishing with 9 points on 3 of 8 shooting, he shared his thoughts on Luka for the media. "He's really good. He's a really good player. We did the best job we could tonight, but, he is a really good player. So that's what they do." Is there anything else to say about Luka? He ended the game with 29 points, 15 assists, and 14 rebounds, while the Cavs really focused on stopping him. Despite his career not being what most of us expected, Lonzo Ball is still one of the league's best defenders when healthy. He was a key piece in Chicago Bulls' 2021-22 regular season success, but unfortunately couldn't help much in the playoffs due to being ruled out with a knee injury. One of Lonzo's favorite challenges has been guarding Luka. I am just trying to get into him as much as I can. Luka is a great player, and obviously if people like that don't have a hand in their face all the time, they are going to kill you all night long. So for me, I am just trying to make his job as hard as I can. Although he can easily be forgotten due to playing for the Kings, De'Aaron Fox has become one of the best young point guards in the league, which is no small feat. Fox is considered one of the fastest players in the league, a polar opposite of Luka's image. The two of them becoming teammates almost happened, but the Kings decided to make another weird draft selection, picking Marvin Bagley, who has had a really slow start so far in his career. I think Luka has been great. He really came out strong. He is playing really well. They have come together extremely well, and they are definitely going to be a team to fight for a good playoff spot. That's really tough when you have a young guy as a leader. That is what we are trying to accomplish as well. Scotty Barnes is a rising star for the Raptors, and he's impressively down to earth. He's all about making winning plays and giving his all, which is pretty rare for someone his age. After his first game against Luka, Barnes was totally blown away. "He's a pretty good player," he said while laughing. "He can just do so many things with the ball, and when the ball is in his hands, he makes things happen. He can torch you whether he's coming off a ball screen, hitting the weak side guy, scoring, getting to the basket, being able just to create a lot of attention where he can do so many things. I said it a long time ago, I look forward to playing against anybody, but he is definitely one of the top guys you want to see in person, because he is really just that good. I didn't actually know he was that tall. I was surprised." One of Croatia's best players in the last couple of years, now Piston and ex-Jazz player, Bojan Bogdanovic, was the main defender for Luka in the first round of the 2022 Western Conference playoffs, where the Mavericks faced the Jazz. After Game 4, when the Jazz beat the Mavericks, Bojan was asked by a reporter how it felt to guard Luka. "Oh, it takes a lot of energy. As a competitor, I always want to guard the best player, and it takes a lot of energy to guard Luka full court, especially as he is involved in every one of their actions. He can make plays due to his size and ability to control the pick and roll, so it was really tough tonight. Bogdanović is a longtime fan of Luka. When Luka was 18, Bojan made a comparison between him and one of Croatia's and Europe's best basketball players of all time, saying, "Petrovic at 18 was similar to Luka." Luka Doncic's style has drawn comparisons to basketball legends like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. In today's NBA, his game is often likened to former MVP James Harden's. Harden himself agrees that these comparisons hold weight. "There are some similarities," Harden said. "He never lets anyone speed him up, and he gets what he wants. That's rare for a guy at a young age, and to be able to dictate the game and control the game like he does, we all know he has a very, very bright future." The Mavs got a special one. During a recent episode of Gilbert Arenas' podcast, when they asked Steph Curry about which young ballers are going to be huge in basketball, he broke it down into two groups. There's the guys like Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic who are already killing it but still young. And then you've got the even younger guys like Anthony Edwards making their mark. Specifically talking about Doncic, Curry said, "Luka is the guy, obviously. That's right on the precipice of accomplishing all those accolades, and just what he's about as a player. When you play against him, you can feel it." A definition of a modern-day big man, John Collins has been a menace offensively due to his outside shooting, but also his ability to finish through contact, score from the pick and roll, all while being a freak athlete. Collins has really been impressed by Luka's abilities, and he didn't hold them back at all. Dude can play. Straight up, dude can play. He definitely has a lot of talent, he has a great feel for the game, and he definitely just knows how to play basketball. As a competitor, I love to play against guys like that. That's probably all Collins could say, since his teammate, Trae Young, probably has nightmares from hearing about Luka Doncic. Bridges was a part of the Phoenix Suns team, who infamously lost to the Mavs in the 2022 Western Conference semifinals. Bridges has been constantly making improvements and has become known for his defensive abilities. Guarding Luka in the regular season is difficult enough, but guarding him in the playoffs is a whole different story. On JJ Redick's podcast, Bridges explained what Luka did to make it so challenging for the Suns to guard him. He didn't do anything to surprise us, but sometimes him being so close to the rim and having guys to space the floor around him being so strong and big, it makes it able for him to beat you to the rim. While playing so slow, it gets you just to leave your feet, and it's over. Sometimes you just see him close to the rim and expect him to take a shot, and the dude just skips the pass across the court, and you are just like turning around, and you have a wide open three. And almost all of his passes have been high percentage and on target. I know he has the ball a lot, but he still managed to help his teammates to get into a rhythm, even when he had a layup or a somewhat open shot in the paint. He has been amazing. This is a great analysis from Bridges, where he points out some of the less talked about skills of Luka. Let's take a step back and think about something amazing. The Balkan area, where the game of basketball is growing strong, isn't really big when you compare it to those big basketball-loving places. But guess what? Despite being smaller, the Balkans are like a treasure chest of talent. It's like finding gold in a small cave. Here's the thing, the countries in the Balkans aren't super rich. They might not have all the fancy stuff, but they sure know how to nurture basketball talents. What's cool is that they help these young players shine and then send them to play for bigger teams to make some money. It's like their secret recipe for success. And guess what might happen in the future? Well, those special lists that predict who's going to be big in the NBA might have more and more names from the Balkans. It's like a wave of talent that's just getting started. You know how finding players as incredible as Luka Doncic is like finding a diamond in the sand? Well, if you had to bet on where these awesome players might come from, the Balkan area would be a smart choice. As technology and the internet get even more awesome, it's easier to spot talent from far away. Imagine having a superpower to find hidden stars. And with this superpower, we can give these Balkan players the chance they deserve. Let's all hope that these amazing players from the Balkans get the chance they've been working hard for. It's like a dream coming true, not just for them, but for all of us who love basketball. So, let's root for them as they climb the ladder and get a shot at playing with the best. It's like a dream we've all had, and they're living it.